Hi everybody, it's Miss Karen from the Hancock Town Library with another science experiment for you. This one is called the Floating Heart Experiment. Very simple. All you need is water, room temperature is fine. And these dry erase markers, Expo is a great brand, and I find that it works best with markers that aren't dried up and that have been hanging around the house. So a fresh marker is best. And a flat pie plate or a flat dish that doesn't have a dark color so that you can see what's going on. So what you do, for this one I did the floating heart, but it doesn't matter what picture you draw. You just take the marker, and I'm just going to make some hearts. Fill them in. Just for fun, I'm going to do one that I don't fill in, just to see if there's a difference in the results. So obviously you can use any color marker. I'm just doing the hot one. Okay. Maybe one smaller one here. All right. So then you take your water, and this is the part where you want to be gentle. You don't want to just pour the water in quickly. And if you go toward the edge of the plate and slow, rather than right on top of the designs, it works better. So you just slowly pour the water in. It's almost like you're doing it in slow motion. Okay. Now the one that I didn't fill in is starting to come off the bottom there. There we go. Now you can blow on it to watch them float a little bit more. I actually have a straw. So why are they floating? Well, the dry erase markers are usually used on whiteboards or dry erase boards, and they're not soluble in water. And what that means is they do not dissolve in water. A regular marker is meant to stay where you put it and not easily wipe away. You want it to be more permanent. So these markers do not dissolve in water, so that's why they lift off when the water hits them. They don't dissolve into, just little pieces. They stay intact. And they also, the dry erase markers, the ink in the markers is less dense than water, so it becomes buoyant and floats. This actual name, it's called the buoyancy force, because the ink is less dense. So what I wanted to try is just another experiment, very briefly, and with different designs. So you can, let's say you do a stick figure, and you can try all kinds of color pens. You can try pressing down firmly versus just very lightly, and try to figure out what you think will happen and see what happens. So we'll just do this one more time just for fun. And there's our floating hearts. We'll move them over here. Okay, once again, you want to just gently pour the water in. Okay. Now this one sort of fell apart. I don't know if it's because I didn't press down firmly or not, but we'll see what happens. And it's a black pen, so maybe that makes a difference. Now this one, this little square, seems like it doesn't want to lift off the plate. that's interesting. So these kind of fell apart. The stick figure sort of stayed together. And this one doesn't want to leave, so interesting. Whereas the hearts, they're pretty much all floating. So it's a fun experiment to try and see. You can try it at home and see what happens and make predictions. So that's our floating heart experiment, and I'll see you next time for another experiment. Bye.